Hello, welcome everyone to our marketing masterclass for law firms, and welcome to our members who are watching live. I'm Damien Reid, Head of Marketing and Quality Solicitors. I'm thrilled to kick off this series with our fantastic marketing team. Today, we aim to provide you with valuable tips and strategies to improve your law firm's marketing efforts, whether it's to enhance touching points with clients or to attract new ones. Let's go around and have and each team of member of the team introduce themselves. Luke, why don't we start with you?
Thanks, Damien. So, I'm Luke. I'm the senior graphic designer, and my role is to implement sort of all the tasks that require graphic design. And that's for our partner firms and also for anything that's QS head office. I work designing across print and web, and I also do some video editing as well.
Lovely. And you're currently editing a video for us at the moment.
I am indeed.
Which will be revealed next week. Thank you, Luke. Carl.
Thank you, Damien. Hi, everyone. I'm Carl. I'm also a graphic designer here at QS, and very similarly to Luke, work on a variety of print and digital tasks for both member firms and internally as well.
Thank you, Carl. Nida.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nida, digital marketing specialist, and I focus on developing and implementing digital strategies aimed at enhancing our online presence and user engagement. My role basically involves conducting SEO audits and managing PPC campaigns for various firms and main QS sites. And yes, today I am excited to share some insights with you all.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nida. And finally, but not least, I can't remember if that's the right saying. I messed it up the other day during rehearsal. Lois.
That sounds okay. Thanks, Damien. Hi, everyone. I'm Lois, digital marketing account manager, and I specialize in managing client relationships alongside developing and carrying out different digital marketing strategies. And this can encompass, various platforms like social media platforms, review management platforms, and websites as well. And these strategies basically covers both helping businesses to drive growth and also aligning those strategies alongside their overall business goals as well.
Lovely. Thank you. This is our first monthly webinar. They happen the second Thursday of each month at 12:30. So if you have any questions at all and you want them answered during the next webinar, then just send the team an email, either directly to each of the members or to marketing@qualitysolicitors.com. It's great to all have you here. I'm really excited that it's all of us together, minus Scott, all of us together for our first webinar. So what we're going to do, we're going to go around each member of the team, and I'm going to ask them to provide a tip, or I'm going to ask them a question aligned with their expertise to help improve your marketing strategies. So we'll start with Luke. Luke, how important is the design of a website for client conversion?
So the design of a website is very important, especially for businesses like law firms that are surface-led. A website is often the first thing that a potential client is going to see in regards to your business. And studies show that they will base an opinion on your firm just based on the design of your website within a matter of seconds. Mm-hmm. And the design plays a very huge part in that snap judgment. So therefore, a nice, sleek, crisp, clean design will convey the messaging that you are a professional law firm with the highest competency as well. So it's all encompassing. It just reinforces a law firm's values.
Fantastic. That was a nice, sleek, crisp, clear design. Is that
Yes.
right?
Right.
That's a tongue twister.
It is.
I completely understand, and I get that. If you go onto a site, it doesn't just have to be law firms. If you go onto any site and it looks like it hasn't been updated for a number of years, it looks old and and maybe archaic, then yeah, I could understand that you would have that impression that that's perhaps how that law firm may be as well.
Yes, I think you if you see an old-fashioned website, you're going to think that they're an old-fashioned law firm, which, you know, as a potential client, you might want that. Great, absolutely, but you might not want that, and that might not be the messaging that as a law firm you want to convey. So, like I said, your design needs to match the ethos of your company.
And you can be an old-fashioned firm but have an up-to-date website.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you, Luke. Carl, we're going to move on to you. What advice can you share from your graphic design perspective?
Thank you, Damien. So my main takeaway for today would be consistency, consistency, consistency across all of your design work. Firstly, for logo design, ideally should be a well-designed logo to create an immediate impression of professionalism, especially for things like law firms. You want something that's going to make you seem as though you're trustworthy with this. Should also aim to sort of reflect the firm's niche. So whether that be corporate law or family law, try and incorporate that into the logo as well. In terms of brand guidelines, there's many different things you have there. So consistent color palette, typography, and design across all of your different platforms, whether that be website, in-store, social media, anything like that. In terms of color palette, you should always try and have two primary colors that you'll use for main bulk of everything like that. Something that's easily recognizable as yourself, and again maintain that consistency across all your design work. On top of that, it's good to have a couple of backup colors as well. So something, if you're printing onto a white background, you'll have colors that can complement that, or also printing onto dark background. That's also something else you need to bear in mind. When it comes to fonts, you only need 3 main fonts. One font ideally is a serif that would be good for body copy, which can be bolded or italicized for bullet points or numbers. You should have an everyday headline sans serif font. It should work well as bold or regular. And then the potential third is something that should only be used sparingly to grab attention. So maybe something that's a bit more cursive, but again, used very, very sparingly, only when needed. Lastly, I would say that visual storytelling is super important as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that be across video or imagery, anything that's used in design as well. Something that can, especially for a local law firm, you can use to really anchor down your location in the local community. So whether that be something like London, especially having some landmarks used there that can sort of anchor down where in London you are. But also, if you're again a family law, having some things that resonate with families, having happy families together for things like that, especially when used for things like wills, to sort of have that impact of future with that as well. So those would be my tips for today.
Brilliant, thank you, Carl. I'll just go on further on the imagery. Yes, it's great if you are in Newcastle, for instance, and you want the Angel of the North or something like that in the background, or on your website. It's best to use your own imagery, not stock images. So what would land better than an image of the Angel of the North is to have your team in front of the Angel of the North. So yeah, make all the imagery, or as much as you can, relatable to the firm, your firm, as much as possible. I have a question for you. It's just going to be a random one. You said there are 3 fonts that you should typically aim to have. If you were to pick a font, what would it be? What would be your favourite?
I think my favourite one would actually be Helvetica. I mean, it's something that I studied quite a bit through college as well. But also on top of that, I think it's just a timeless font. I think it's very, very easily readable. And I think that's something that can really, really suit well, not just for body copy, but also for headings. Yeah, again, a timeless font, one of my favourites.
I'm nodding, but I have no idea what that looks like. Brilliant. Nida, you're up next. So how often should a firm update its blog, and what guidance can you give about their content?
Thanks, Damien. So, I would say the frequency of blog updates can vary depending on the resources and goals, but consistency is the key. I normally recommend that law firms should update their blog section at least 1 to 2 blogs per month. However, it is more important to focus on providing valuable, relevant content that actually addresses your client needs rather than just posting for the sake of frequency. I strongly believe that by consistently producing high quality and informative content that actually addresses your client needs and pain points, you not only position your firm as an authority in the legal field, but also improve your overall search engine rankings, which is very important. Actually, there are so many ways we can achieve this. We can create blog posts, review existing content on the services pages, create informative videos or guides or infographics. And so, no matter what content or what type of content we are creating, the important thing is to provide real values to your audience. So we hear this so much. We know that providing content, good values, or a high quality content is important. But the question is, how do we know that we are creating high quality content? So in this case, my tip would be to be centered around three E's approach. Like whenever we are creating content, we make sure that our content uh, follow the three E's approach. Now, what are these three E's? This is educate, engage, and emphasize. Educate means that create content that informs your audience about their query or answer them the question they are actually looking for. And the second one is engage. So it means that try to use interactive content to keep your audience involved. As I said before, this can be image, this can be video, this can be infographics that actually engage the audience. The third one is emphasize, like for example, to share content that show your understand your client's concerns and their pain point and demonstrate how you can resolve their issue, thereby building a connection with your audience. Um, for example, I would say that in the legal terms, family law or divorce is not only a legal process, it's not only the process, it's an emotional bonding with the clients. So considering these 3 points in our content is very important for ranking, and it will help you create material that resonates with your audience and drive more clients engagements.
Lovely, thank you. So that the three E's: educate, engage, and emphasize.
That's right.
Fantastic. So there are some really great tips, and those who are watching live now or watching later or listening at a later point, they might go, well, that's great, but I only have so many hours in a day. If there's only one type of content that you have time to focus on, what would that type of content be?
I would say that the most interesting content in that case would be to create FAQs. FAQs are something that consist of both three E's. FAQs actually provide educate the user, it provide engagement, and it also emphasize, because this is what that your customer or client is actually typing to know the answer.
Lovely, thank you, Nida. Great, some really good insights there. Thank you, Lois. How can a firm maintain a strong presence online?
Thanks, Damien. Yes. So the tip I have today for firms to maintain strong presence online is actually one that I think every single law firm should absolutely be implementing. So it is highly, highly important to have a clear marketing plan. I cannot even state how important that is. I strongly believe that having a clear marketing plan is just essential for firms that want to grow and maintain that strong online presence, either locally or nationally, or a combination of both. I found that a lot of the time, a lot of firms, they have business plans. They think it's very, very important to have, business plans that help guide them to increasing the efficiency of their overall operations. But sometimes they just overlook the importance of also having a marketing plan. Just as a business plan will help you guide your firm, and help you guide your efforts towards increasing your overall business growth, a marketing plan is also essential to provide that guidance as well. Not having a marketing plan is basically just stumbling around in the dark, hoping to just hit a target. You don't have that guidance, you don't have that layout of how to help you target your goals as effectively as possible. So it is absolutely essential to have one. Since we know how important that is, how then do law firms know that they are creating that well defined, that clear marketing plan?
Mhm.
Well, there are a couple of elements that you should absolutely have in your marketing plan that would make you just be certain that it is as clear as possible, it is as well defined as possible. So I'll just go through a couple of them. One thing that's important is to have clear objectives. So when you have clear objectives in your marketing plan, you know what you're doing, and that's like the starting point of having that guidance. So your objectives can include the things you want to achieve over the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and it can include things like maybe establishing authority, increasing customer engagement, generating leads, and just so many things like that. Just the things you're looking to achieve and the goals you're looking to carry out over, the next 1 to 3 months, however time it is that you're looking to carry out those goals. So, and your objectives should be as clear as possible so that anyone at all within your firm that takes a look at your marketing plan can easily understand those objectives, and it's self-explanatory. They know exactly what you mean by the written objectives, so it should be as clear as possible.
Mhm.
And then another thing you should have in your marketing plan should be your target audience. Because, a lot of the time, not everyone is going to be your ideal client, right? You're not just going to market to everybody sometimes. You're going to have your ideal client in mind. The exact kind of client you want to target can be quite specific sometimes. So having that target audience clearly defined is really, really important. And specifying your clients can come in different forms, and there are different ways to do that. You can, for example, create a buyer persona. That basically is a way to just identify who your clients are by listing out different data like age, location, and different stats like that, and also things like your demographics. Just using data like that can absolutely help you identify who your target audience is, and this will help you tailor your marketing strategies as best as possible.
Yeah.
Also, another point is to clearly define your budget and your resources, because obviously we all know marketing costs money. Sometimes you have to spend money for PPC, for copywriting, for SEO. Those things do take prices, they do incur fees a lot of the time. So it is really good to just have stated out clearly how much you want to spend and dedicate towards those different aspects. And your resources can also even go towards your personnel as well. Sometimes it's not just about the amount you're spending, but also the members of your team that would work towards carrying out those specific strategies as well. Personnel definitely counts as resources as well. And another resource that people overlook a lot of the time is time,
Mhm.
because time is definitely a resource. Carrying out marketing plans and strategies does take time, and that's it, something you should definitely consider including in your marketing plan as well. And then one other thing I would say is really important is to have KPIs clearly stated in your marketing plan. So your KPIs is basically just a way for you to clearly measure the success of your marketing strategies.
Yeah.
Because without having your KPIs clearly defined, you're basically just implementing those strategies but not measuring how effective they are, and you're not going to know how much progress you're making. So your KPIs can include things like your retention rate, your website traffic, your cost per lead, your social media engagement. It can include things like that. And KPIs, they do depend on your goals. It can be different from firm to firm. So your firm's KPIs can be different from another firm's KPIs. It just depends on what you're looking to measure and what you're looking to achieve at that particular point in time. And one last thing I would also say is very important to include in your marketing plan is the breakdown of your strategies. So your strategy breakdown should include the exact way in which you want to carry out all the strategies you have listed out in your marketing plan. And this can be listed out in different ways, like your targeted advertising, your PPC, SEO optimization, and also the various platforms you want to use to carry out those strategies, like your social media channels, the types of content you want to use. So, all of those should be included in your marketing plan. You have to have a breakdown of the exact strategy, how exactly you want to carry out those plans, the platforms you'll be using, and things like that should definitely be included. And with all of these points, you should have a very clear and well-defined marketing plan.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Lois. There's some really good tips there. Thank you, everyone. Some fantastic tips right across the team. Right, we're going to move on to the next section, and I'm just conscious of how long we've got left. So we're going to go through a thing called Marketing Mythbusters. Essentially, there are a number of myths out there about certain things about marketing that you may assume might be correct, or you might think they're bogus, but we're going to hopefully dispel some of those right now. So this is an open question to everyone in the team. And we'll go through the first one, and I've called it the viral video voodoo. So creating a viral video is relatively simple. All you need to do is add an animal like a cat or a dog or a baby, and just sit back and wait for the views to come in. Is that right?
I wouldn't say that it's right. I think that why adding featuring cute animals or babies can attract attention, but it is not a guarantee that video is going to be viral. So I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Nida, because while it is absolutely funny
Mhm.
to see cat videos and baby videos that can be very interesting to see,
Mm-hmm.
but there are so many factors involved in having a viral
Yeah.
video. Apart from that, so many things to consider: the overall quality of the video, the impact it's having, the engagement levels, just so many factors to consider apart from just adding a baby or an animal to the video.
Yeah, I think from a kind of a personal point of view, videos can go viral with cats and babies, but when it comes to firms, for me, it doesn't work. What's more important is your messaging and your visual style coming through in those videos that can make it viral, rather than just adding a cat or a baby.
All very true. All very true. However, I will counter argue that a little bit, and I'll get Carl to answer this for me. There are some lessons learned from this, though. Surely you can lean on the cats, the dogs, the all those sort of things. What spikes people's interest, and apply that to all types of assets, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are obviously, as a basic level, having cats, dogs, babies, things like that are more eye catching. They're a bit more, not so seen, I suppose, in your everyday advertising. So, I mean, just finding something that's a little bit different when promoting, whether it be with regular advertisement or promoting yourselves as a law firm, having something is something a bit unique, can really pique people's interest, and having that little bit of difference can really make you stand out amongst other law firms.
Lovely. Thank you, guys. Right, the next one, marketing myth buster number 2, the QR code quandary. QR codes it's dead technology. Is that right?
Absolutely incorrect. I mean, from personal experience anyway. I mean, even down to just going to, many local restaurants now have QR codes for menus, things like that. But also when it comes to handing out flyers, things like that, you have QR codes on them a lot of the times now. I mean, modern technology is advanced to the point where every smartphone now has QR codes built into the camera. So instead of having to download an app like you used to, just for a QR code scanner, you can now just do that with a click of a button on your phone. I mean, it's much easier to do that than have like a website that you need to copy down. You'd much rather just quickly scan a QR code, go straight to the website, and you're on your way. So I personally think this is absolute bogus.
I would agree with Carl. As QR is a contactless technology, and after pandemic, this is all that people want. The contactless technology, not need to type anything or do anything, but just scanning, and everything is on your phone.
Yeah, just to quickly add to something Carl mentioned, you mentioned ease, and I think the ease of using QR codes is just right now unmatched by anything else. For example, if you see a poster somewhere where you have the details of the organization and then you have a QR code, obviously some posters might have the websites, typed out on there. But how many people will pick up their phone and start typing out the URL, www? They'd rather just open their camera and just point at the QR code, and there you go. Just go to the website directly. So that is just very, very handy.
It's sorry, Luke. I was actually going to ask you a question.
I'll wait for you to answer.
It's a relatively easy thing to add to a poster or a flyer or something like that. Just like that, what Carl said, you can build that into design quite easily, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. I mean, it generally does go. You generally goes either at the top or at the bottom. Normally the bottom, but what I was going to say was that using QR codes can help enhance a customer journey. So the job of a poster or of a flyer is not necessarily to give the potential client all the information all in one go. The idea of a flyer is to pique that interest and then get them to then move on to the website or to make a call and or something like that. So it can definitely, QR codes help with that customer journey. You can create a lovely, clean, crisp design of your leaflet or your poster, and using that QR code frees up so much space for you to put some fantastic imagery, colors, and that sort of thing, rather than just reams and reams of text, because you can use that QR code to then carry that customer journey onto the website, where you would then have things like FAQs, which then links into what Nida was saying earlier.
Lovely.
One final thing I would add to that as well is, especially for law firms, having QR codes for something like customer satisfaction surveys, much easier now, especially as most people are, working digitally. Having that instead of having to, write down on a bit of paper on a clipboard or something that to give reviews. So it's also better for firms to have that digitally. It's much easier to copy over than having to retype them out.
Yeah. And you can have that. That could be sent in an email. It could be on a handout. It could be on the desk in the office. It could be on a poster on the inside of the door. There could be all sorts of uses for it. We do have more Mythbusters, but I'm afraid we are running out of time. So I'm going to put them into the comments on the video, and when we share these across various socials, I'll put them there as well, and so we can let anyone else answer those and see whether or not they believe that these myths should be busted or not. So, guys, it's your first webinar. Great job, absolutely great job. Well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back. And thank you for everyone who's tuned in so far to our marketing masterclass. We hope you found these tips useful. Remember, effective marketing is a continuous process of learning and adapting. If you have any questions or need any assistance, feel free to reach out to us at marketing@qualitysolicitors.com. And don't forget to visit us at www.growwithqs.com for more resources. And until next time, keep innovating and making waves with your marketing strategies.